Welcome back to the channel, guys, and to another vlog from Tarifa. I'm on the roof right here. I'm coming up here every morning and having my first cup of coffee up here, which is pretty nice because you have a view of the ocean. And today is actually the first day of Levante wind, meaning we have offshore winds making for the perfect slalom flat water paradise next to the beach. So we're gonna drink our coffee, heading down to a spot called Campo, where the wind is coming pretty nicely offshore, and then try to go as fast as possible on my medium slalom board by Futurefly. Can I reach 70 kilometers? I hope so. Today we'll find out. Let's go. Guys, I know I said I'm gonna try the medium board, but it honestly doesn't look super windy right now, so I think we're gonna go first with the big board. And I'm actually pretty excited to test that because I was using it the last time at the IFCA Worlds, but back then I didn't have the correct mast for it. I was actually using a stiffer foiling mast, and I felt that the sail didn't have so much power and wasn't breathing as much, so I'm actually kind of excited to try that. And that's why I'm super happy to have back the big board in my quiver this year, so that I can go out on the fin even in these super light wind conditions. And then as the wind goes up, hopefully later in the afternoon, we're gonna switch to the medium board. But let's first check the spot, go over to the beach because we have quite some way to the beach over here, and check the conditions. So this beach gets flooded sometimes when it's high tide by the waves, and so we gotta watch out to not get our feet completely wet here. Maybe we have to take off our shoes, but yeah, it's quite a long walk to the beach. And that's why I actually like fin here, because the fin gear you just can carry in one go. The foil gear I have to carry in two goes, so I have to carry the board first, then the sail, and that's honestly pretty annoying. All right, we made it to the beach, and as you can see, the wind is still very, very light, even for 8.8. I think it's currently not enough. The forecast is giving us around 15, 16 knots and later on maybe 17, 18 and in the gusts up to 22. So I think it will kick in. It's just super early. It's around, it's 11 o'clock. So I think we still have some time. If we rig up, I expect the wind to be there by then. But what we also have is sometimes there's some sets rolling in. So I have to watch out to not get stuck in the shore break. You just have to be a bit smart about this. Watch at the water and don't go out when the biggest waves come. Because right here, like right now, they're just here near the beach and tiny waves, but sometimes you have a bigger set rolling in and then they're breaking super hollow on the outside, and then you don't want to get stuck with your slalom board in there, because obviously the slalom sails are not as strong as the wave sails, and I don't want to get washed with my slalom sail and break the battens and all this craziness. But yeah, this is Campo. I think we're gonna have a nice session in between the waves. First with the 8.8, later with smaller gear. I'm excited to get started. Honestly, guys, Levante is my favorite wind here in Tarifa because I'm at heart a speed sailor and I like to just go fast, and this offshore direction just gives us super flat water. I had already some pretty amazing sessions with a big board by Futurefly, and today my goal is to break the 65 kilometers an hour on this big board. We need some stronger gusts than what is happening right now behind us for sure, but I hope it's gonna kick in. 65 knots, I'm actually measuring more in knots, so let's see how many knots I have to do. 65 divided by 1.852, and then we have 35 knots. So that's gonna be the goal for the session today. Let's go. Guys, the car is still a bit of a mess. I already took out 3 boards, but it's so much stuff, the windsurfing. Here we have the big board, and then 8.8 and the mast. So let's get the stuff out and rig. So yeah, now we have the correct mast, the K100, not the F100 that we used in the IFCA Slalom World Championship. For 2025, I actually took the next step with Futurefly and am now involved with importing boards in cooperation with Wind Lounge. What really stands out on the Futurefly boards is the superior production quality and finish of the boards that's really not comparable to anything else on the market. We will be getting a fresh delivery of 2025 boards in the next few weeks, so if you guys have any questions about the boards or are interested in placing an order, simply write to me at contact@nils-bach.com. well, 8.7 to 14.8. The wind certainly turned up, but it's still pretty light. But yeah, I'm going to give it a go. The wind, I think, will be continuing to turn up throughout the day, according to the forecast. Some of you are asking me why I'm using this old shitty wetsuit. It's actually a 15-year-old wetsuit. I bought a new iron, and it's a pretty good wetsuit, but it's actually so warm that for these conditions, the winter wetsuit is too warm, and then I have only a shorty. And this one with the holes, I'm going to show you. I mean, it's a winter wetsuit, but it's not so warm, so it's perfect actually for these conditions. So it looks like shit, and I probably should get a new one in this kind of medium range, but yeah, for now it's kind of working. I'm going to track my session with the Coros watch. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I've really enjoyed using it for the last year now, because it's pretty simple. You just have it on your wrist and can turn on the speed surfing like this. And then it automatically syncs with GPS speed surfing later on, so pretty neat to use, but also pretty expensive. But yeah, let's head over to the Insta360 and go out for the first session of the day. Woo! Alright, first session done. With the 8.8, of course, as soon as I went out, the wind kind of picked up. The first 20 minutes were really nice and kind of reminded me why I love the big board so much, because then you kind of have the light wind, but at the same time, the super flat water, because the wind just isn't strong enough to create big chop yet. And then you can just like go over the super flat water and really tune in. And yeah, this was really fun. But then the wind turned up to like 16 to 18 knots, and I was pretty overpowered on the 8.8, especially on the way back out, because as you go out here, the wind increases, and then I was really fighting the sail a bit. My top speed so far is 30.5 knots, so actually not the fastest, but I have to say the mast makes such a big difference compared to the foil mast I was using before. Let's also check the heart rate. My max heart rate is 188, and I think this is the highest I've been in months, so I'm pretty much going to my max heart rate with the sail. Let's see if on the 7.8 I can go a bit faster, and hopefully with a heart rate that won't kill myself. So changing sails, and here we go, the 7.8. Honestly guys, I'm on a bit of a diet here, and I feel like I've already lost 2 to 4 kilograms, and it was kind of tough for me today to kind of really lock in the 8.8 sail. I don't know if it was my settings or if I'm a little bit lighter. I don't know exactly how much weight I lost, but I think a little bit. But I think on the 7.8 we can go much faster and also get much closer to our goal of 35 knots on the big board today. And this one also has the added benefit that I can use the smaller boom. I'm using the 170 instead of the 190, and that has 2 advantages for me. A, I don't have like the biggest hands, so this one has a narrower grip and I can get more power over the sail, especially because my lower arms are cramping up with a big boom. And the other benefit is that this one I put already the outhole system and the adjustable harness lines, so here we can set up the sail much better. So let's carry the sail back to the water and see if we can get to 35 knots on the big board today. Second session with the 7.8. Let's turn on the watch. Speed surfing, start, go! Second session done. Did I reach my goal? Actually, I surpassed it. I did 66 kilometers an hour, but it was not as easy as it sounds like, because you need to be quite lucky to get a good gust here down the beach. As you go further out, the wind is actually turning quite strong, but here near the beach, it's really gusty, and the lower the wind is, the harder it is. But honestly, I was super happy to be on the big gear today, on the big board, because I could just go all the time and I wasn't standing around. I had enough power to be planing all the time and then use the gust for speed. So let's talk about the speed. I did 35.6 knots, and that's actually my personal best on the big board. So I'm pretty happy that I reached this today in this one lucky gust. I think it's 66 kilometers an hour, so the goal of this session to reach 65 has been reached and even a little bit surpassed. Honestly, the 7.8 feels like it could become my new favorite sail out of the range. This one is just so much improved, I feel, from last year. It is reaching much better, the top speed is still there, and overall just a great sail. I will do a dedicated video on the 0.7 2025 sails, the slalom sails more specifically, but I want to test the smaller sizes some more before I drop this. So if you don't want to miss that, stay tuned to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys, on this first Levante day here in Tarifa, and see you in the next one.